episode is this?
5, I think.
Episode 5.
Episode 5.
Forbidden Castle. We have Blayne Wainio as our third guest? No, second. Yeah, third guest.
Third guest.
Is Russ even a guest anymore?
Russ is.
Or is this normal?
Are you a co-host now?
I will be.
He's kicking Dylan off. Yeah, Dylan's not here today. We have Russ.
Russ Plus 127.
Yep.
We got Forbidden Castle merchandise water bottle,
Good stuff. I need to order some. What else do you have on the website?
sweatshirt, t-shirt, mugs.
Good stuff. I'm gonna have to get some merch.
I'm gonna get a mug because we got a tea kettle now, so I can.
You have a
make
tea kettle?
Yep.
When did you get a tea kettle?
We got it for the band that played at Merit Days.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
So now we have one at home.
So, yeah, we got Russ here now. He's replacing Dylan momentarily. Maybe not momentarily. We don't know.
Yeah. Watch out, Dylan.
He's not gonna watch this.
Where is he?
Grand Rapids.
That's what I assumed.
Sorry.
Weird. What do you you gonna take a spot, Russ, or what? You gonna have to compete.
You guys will have to do Jiu Jitsu for it.
Russ would definitely win. Dylan could have had prior training. You still win.
I don't know.
That's right. So, Blayne, we brought you here for a specific reason. You lost a lot of weight in a short
120 pounds to be specific.
In what time period?
In what's been 2 years since, pretty much exactly. 2 years, 18 days ago, or 19 days ago. I started on August 1st of 2020.
Good man.
What
During
was
the
it-
pandemic.
Yeah. What was like your
Towards the tail end of it.
Yeah.
what was like your first step like in starting that? Like, what'd you do?
What do you mean by that?
Like, what
What led me to it?
what led you to it? And like, cause like obviously like you were continued like to live this lifestyle, and that you were overweight, and then
Well-
like what made you like just be like? Cause obviously something has to happen almost like where you just like stop living like this. And like, what was your first step? Like, what made you?
Well, it wasn't my first time trying to lose weight.
Yeah.
It was, I tried once right before the pandemic, and I kind of shut it down. It was like beginning of March of 2020. I was starting to like cut out sugar and stuff. I was doing it the wrong way.
Yeah.
But then I don't really know what led me to do it in August then. I was kind of sick of it.
Yeah.
I was like, it's time for a change. It might have been the beginning of football too that really did it. Because I had a senior center in front of me, and I was a sophomore at the time. I was going to be a sophomore. So I was like, oh, I gotta lose a bunch of weight so I can play football and then be able to take a spot after. So if I didn't lose that weight, I wasn't going to play football.
Yeah. No, that's very impressive. 120 pounds in 2 years is just a lot of fucking weight. Especially just like looking at you now, because you haven't lost significant muscle mass. You're still like a big like you have muscle,
Yeah,
and it's
but-
very honestly impressive.
I definitely could have kept a lot more if I would have done it the right way.
Yeah.
Because, so I started in August. I lost probably about 10 pounds per month up until December. And then it gets to Christmas and everything. A lot of shitty food that you're eating.
Yeah.
A lot of ice cream and shit like that through Christmas. And I started to plateau, gained a few pounds. Got really worried, had a lot of mental issues with that.
Yeah.
It's hard to deal with because you don't really know what to do. You can't stop eating that much. It's like you just need a complete reset to that point. And in March, I cut my calories down to like 1,500, which just definitely wasn't the right thing to do. I lost like 20 pounds, but I lost a lot of muscle in that time for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, though, like that'd be a hell lot healthier than the contrary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like obviously, there's a better way to do it, but most important thing is just to get it off in the long run.
Yeah, but I could have taken an extra month and still gotten more muscle out of that. Because there's old pictures of me where you could like visibly see my triceps still when I was 300 or so pounds. That's like, oh, if I could have kept all that muscle, I would have been sick. I would have been so much bigger by now.
Yeah, but you still like.
But like the thing is, like being a natural athlete, I think if you're losing that much weight, regardless, no matter how slow you take it, there's gonna be quite a big muscle loss, because just how it is, like your hormones are crashing every time you diet. Like your testosterone is gonna plummet, for example, and that's it'd be really hard to maintain a lot of muscle, especially considering the longer you diet. Like I'm sure you're well aware of, it's gonna be the harder it is, and a lot of people say it's healthier to take it slow. And yeah, it probably is because it's more like stable for your body. At the same time, the longer you diet, the longer your hormones are going to be suppressed, and you're not going to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's almost like it's
You're balancing.
It's just waiting for it to happen almost. But I do agree with you. Like, you probably could have taken it slower and probably limited a little bit of the loss.
At that point, when I'm 322 pounds, it's like, I want this off right now.
Yeah, I get that.
I feel like that's how a lot of people think, because I'm such high body fat that, like, I just want to get it off right now. I don't care how much muscle I lose. I don't care which way I do it. Like, I just want it off.
Yeah.
That's what leads a lot of people to eating probably 1,000 calories a day for 2 weeks and then crashing and failing, which is what I used to do.
Yeah. Well, it's very impressive, honestly, that you even got into that with not even like any prior knowledge. Like, you didn't really know what you're doing. But if you're someone less overweight, like, honestly, it's like the biggest thing. Not even just like losing weight, but if you're gonna do anything or start anything, just literally just do something. Just start right away. Just like whatever it is. Like, I don't know. Even if it's wrong, it's not. You take that first step, it leads to more steps, and then you're fine.
Yeah. How did you? Sorry to cut you off, but how did you start off? Like, what did you like first start doing?
I cut calories first. I cut down to 2,400 calories a day, or 2,600. I don't remember exactly.
And then,
but I had prior knowledge because a few years back, well, I guess it was probably 4 years back in 6th grade, I'd run a mile with Melissa Brisky every day, and she counted calories. She's big into that, into fitness and everything. So really, she started it all. So I knew that I had to count calories to lose weight, but I didn't exactly know how to do it. That's what led me to eating so low at that one point.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's cool.
So,
Would you say that she definitely influenced your, like,
for sure,
even like having like just like thought of it, you know?
Well, when I was running with her, I lost 20 pounds.
Oh, really?
So I was like 220 in sixth grade. And I went down to 200 and then I just stopped because of football. I'm like, oh, I'm exercising now. I don't have to keep running.
Yeah.
I stopped counting calories that you just don't care anymore, and you start gaining a bunch of weight, and just how it goes.
Yeah. So you cut calories, and then you're obviously lifting for football.
Yeah.
But did you start running on top of that and stuff like that, or did you just?
I occasionally ran. I didn't run too much, though. The most I ran was it wasn't even daily. It was like 20 minutes here and there on the treadmill.
Yeah.
Well, because that was in the middle of football season. You started,
Yeah.
or the beginning of football. So yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I think the biggest thing, honestly, is like your diet. Like, you can still lose weight without. You don't need to do cardio. Like,
well, David Goggins is an example. I mean, he did a lot of cardio, but he talked about how the reason he didn't get a lot of loose skin, I don't know how scientifically accurate this is because he did a lot of bodybuilding also.
yeah, that was very interesting.
Well, that makes sense.
It's got to be a part of his genetics to not have that much loose skin, though. Either.
Yeah, because that's interesting, because if you're losing that much weight so rapidly, how much weight do you lose in a certain, like, it was.
He was 297, I believe.
Yeah,
He
he
went
had to cut down to like one.
He's a tall guy, though. He was
like 6'3" or
It was
something.
like
He had to cut to like
190 or
180. 180,
Was it
190.
180?
Yeah, something like that.
And
He had
like
to
it
lose
was
like
6
100
months,
pounds.
wasn't it?
Yeah, he had to lose like 100 pounds.
I think it was like
6 months or
120
something.
pounds in 6 months.
Yeah, and he had no loose skin, and I don't think that's due because he's bodybuilding. Like, you're gonna be in such a calorie deficit. I don't think you're building muscle.
No, you're not building muscle.
You're not
at that
building
point.
Yeah,
You're not building muscle fast enough to like cover. Like, it's not how it works at all.
He's also-
he probably had loose skin at that point and maybe minimized it.
Yeah, but how does that happen?
I don't know.
It's
'Cause
very.
he doesn't have any loose skin.
No, he said
It's got to be genetics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has to be because I
You
remember
could work out, like, for example, you could work out the hardest you want. Like, you could be the world's hardest, like, workout guy, and like, if you're in a caloric deficit, like, you're gonna build shit. Like,
Yeah, and that's the thing is, I mean, if he was building muscle, he would just like be the same weight if he filled in the skin, not the same weight, but he would still weigh like 250 if he's like filling in the skin with muscle. So like, it's so absurd because he said, yeah, I worked it off so fast and so hard that just like no loose skin developed.
The loose skin.
I don't know how
couldn't
that
even
works.
Like, he took it by surprise, like as if that. I don't know. I mean,
It's definitely genetics. I have loose skin. I lost it over 2 years. I lost 120 over 2 years. He lost 120 over 6 months. It's like,
Yeah.
you're gonna have loose skin, but I don't know how he does it. It's gotta be genetics.
It's gotta be.
My genetics are just not as good.
yeah, it's very weird. Because I remember him talking about that, and it's like did not make sense at all.
Yeah, it's kind of bizarre.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one.
So
You go.
we sorry to sidetrack again, but Josh and I got our testosterone levels done.
Oh yeah.
So
Do you have those on? Do you know what yours are?
yeah.
You go first.
All right, my total testosterone is 467 nanograms per deciliter, and my free testosterone is 17.5. So
Isn't that pretty low?
Free test for. I
it
don't
said
know
the
what
normal.
is-
I can pull it up. I have it on my phone.
It's
It
probably-
said the free range is like 4 to.
Oh,
It's probably a different label.
maybe.
The
That's-
reference range for testosterone was 300 to 1200 nanograms per deciliter for a 17 to 18-year-old. And then the reference range for the free testosterone is 4.28 to 20.9 nanograms per deciliter.
Okay.
How many?
Maybe I had it wrong. I thought like
How many 17 to 18-year-olds have 1200 tests though?
1200.
Yeah,
Not much.
like that shouldn't be a part of the reference range. It should be like 800.
No,
But
that's
it is statistically significant because otherwise it wouldn't be on there. Because like for like the average person, I think like just across the board person, the high range is 1,000. So like they increase it just as an average.
17 to 18.
Yeah, but even that, there's like such ambiguity in it. Like, I don't know. I get what you're saying. Like, there's so many ranges I've seen. Like, I've seen a range that go up to 1,400. Like,
Yeah,
that's just
like who's walking around with 1400 test as a 17 to 18-year-old who's
Sam
not
Watkins.
an anomaly.
Sam
and then
Watkins.
there's a range that goes to like 800. Like, I don't know, just weird.
Well, I just feel like if you have 1400 tests at 18, you're kind of an anomaly.
Yeah.
oh, def for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm looking up mine right now.
Yeah, so I guess I'm kind of slightly low normal.
Yeah,
range.
But your free test is pretty high though.
Yeah,
According to that reference range. But I've seen different ranges. That's like Jesse James West got his done, and his reference range was like 40 something to like 80.
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, 'cause
that's
why
Did you see that same thing?
that's
Blayne,
why I
you-
was questioning his.
yeah. You and Blayne both said that. You were both said that's pretty low, isn't it? But
no,
For
mine.
what are you saying, for free or for
Free.
total?
For free.
Okay, mine is 492.
oh my god,
It doesn't really matter that much. It's the free test that really matters, right? Or is it the ratio?
It's like a ratio between the two.
And then I got 10.87 for free. So you got me good there.
it's free test.
Destroyed me. And then yeah, that's like the only. I got my other stuff.
That's just like a snapshot too. Like, I mean,
yeah.
this could very well be higher than next.
Well,
next
what-
day.
Well, that's what,
What time
in
of
the
the-
note from my doctor it said that it's higher in the morning, and I did it at 2.
Yeah.
What
in the
time did
afternoon.
you do yours, Josh?
I did mine in the afternoon too. What was it?
We did ours probably around, I think it was 1 or 2 or something.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
So it's around the same.
Yeah.
What were your tests results?
I was lower in both yours.
Shut up.
It was.
No.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
What was it actually?
I wasn't taking my shots consistently, so that's probably why. But it was 475-ish, I think, or
That's
440. Somewhere in the 400s below your guys's for sure.
That's very interesting.
I want to get mine done now and see what mine's at.
Yeah.
I've had mine
We need
at
to sneak
1,000 though.
Sam's.
I've had mine at 1,000 and above 1,000, and it's nice there. So
How did,
where I
how
like
did you
to keep it.
feel above 1,000?
good.
You did. You felt good, didn't you?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I feel like it's almost like every man should experience that. I'm not saying like go out and get TRT if you don't need TRT, but like it's just it feels right. I don't know.
I know you're saying.
Was your energy just through the roof?
Not necessarily, but like I just had more drive to do things like normal tasks that would be like a normal person would be like just dreading to do. I'd be like, all right, yeah, let's get this done.
Yeah.
That sounds nice.
That's more motivated.
Yeah.
Can I talk about how like what you do before the gym?
What did I do before the gym?
What you take before the gym?
Oh no.
No, okay. We can cut this part out.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure. But yeah.
So yeah, Blayne, you got to get your test levels checked now.
I do.
Yeah. No, just hearing him describe it, not that I'm going to, but like it just sounds interesting to experience. It's like such high super physiological test level. Not even super, I guess.
Well, it's not. Yeah, it's not super physiological, but like it's on the border, which it's like.
I couldn't imagine
Best.
what
Yeah.
like people
So-
take trend feel like
Dude, I would never.
get the
Yeah.
trend cough quick.
Yeah, that's one thing I would never experiment with for sure. Is like that's like directly linked to Alzheimer's, for example, and like for example, like if you're a bodybuilder that's competing in an untested show, like and you don't take trend, like you're gonna lose. Like like it's just like a given. Like you have to take trend if you want to even compete
At high profile bodybuilding shows, at least.
if it's untested. Like it doesn't even matter if it's a pro show or not. Like
Because all of them are going to be doing it.
because all of them are doing it. Yeah. But if it's a natural show, obviously no. But
Yeah, but those natural shows aren't going to be nearly as high profile as untested shows. Like
the natural shows though too. Another thing is that a lot of people can easily get by the drug test. I know, for example, a couple of coaches that they have developed protocols like just so they can get by them. It's kind of messed up, but like,
yeah,
I don't know.
It's like those tests can only test for certain things. It's not like a wide range of things they can test for, right?
Well, they can test for metabolites, basically all steroids, but the problem is people can take very short half-life drugs that are in your system, in and out of your system, like within hours.
Yeah,
like you take like a test suspension, it's in your system for 30 minutes, and then I'm not sure exactly its half-life, but that's just a prime example. You could take that every day, and even if you got a surprise drug test, like it would be, like of it being in the abnormal range, would be unlikely because what are the odds they're gonna test you right when you take it? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's like people always have this like not misconception, but like normal people, like laymen, that don't understand like PEDs and stuff like that. They think, well, it's tested, so like there's no way people can get like past it, like USADA for the UFC. Even like Joe Rogan and them, they're like, really, but it's tested. Like no one gets through it. Like so many like the regulations stuff like that, like you can get around it so easily, and people don't realize that.
Yeah. I don't like personally know these coaches, but I know them. My coach I have works with other coaches, and I've talked to him and stuff, and I follow his content and these other coaches' content, and they literally have like laid out like protocols that they have done for pro athletes that we all know that to get by drug tests. So like I'm just saying, like this is very, very prevalent, and people just are ignorant in that regard.
Yeah. Well, here's a question: do you guys think Michael Hearn's natural? Definitely.
I don't know who Michael.
You don't know who Mike?
He was on the Andrew Tate thing, right?
I've heard.
Was he?
He was with Andrew Tate.
He was what?
I'm pretty sure he had a video with
Look up
Andrew
Michael
Tate.
Hearn. You probably.
I think I've seen that video
I'm
where Andrew
99%
Tate
sure.
trains with Michael Hearn. But I don't exactly.
No, that's
know
Mike
who he is.
Thurston. You think
That's
Mike
Mike
Thurston?
Thurston.
I think he claims to be 92, doesn't he?
He definitely
No.
does.
Well, there's absolutely no way.
He's definitely not, but he.
Let me see a picture of him. I thought he was on TRT.
Mike Thurston.
Michael Hearn or Mike Thurston?
Thurston.
Michael Hearn's definitely not natty. So it's like
no,
it's like
Michael Hearn's not on TRT. He's on Trend.
Dude, yeah, it's like this ongoing joke in like fitness community, like everyone's like, yeah, all the natty king Michael Hearn, because he doesn't admit it. Like, and he's like 45 or like he's pretty old, and he looks just like he's about to go on stage.
I don't know when
His
that
nickname
was,
is literally Michael Trend.
I've heard Greg Doucette talk about Michael Hearn and joking about how he's.
It's like not even. It's like a joke.
Joking about how he's natty.
Yeah, like it's not even like it's such a low hanging fruit because everyone's like, he's like, do Michael Hearn. He's like, are you kidding me? Like, just like everyone knows that he's not natty. It's just, like,
I've seen Michael Hearn.
yeah, he claims natty.
No, he's not. I'm looking at the thumbnail of him. He's
Show
not
him.
natural.
See him.
Shovel in. We will pull up pictures for the podcast, but he's natty, dude. I promise. So is Simeon Panda. It's like baffling. Like
That's just his upper body.
He's 45.
he's like old, yeah.
Yeah, he's quite
He's up
old.
there.
Yeah, he is up there. He's not even on TRT. He's natty.
Good
Yeah,
one.
100%.
Good one.
Yeah, dude, he's huge. He worked out with,
That's in the same status as Liver King.
oh yeah, Liver King's natty though.
Yeah, no, he's
True.
definitely
It's because he eats liver. That's why he's that
exactly, and
big.
bone marrow, and why eat vegetables when you can eat testicles.
That's the reason why. No, because
He's natty.
there's like the one thing, there's like this theory, like how he talks about like, people like say if you eat like certain organs like liver, stuff like that, like the nutrients will go to your liver.
Liver will get better.
That's
He's
why.
like, oh, if you eat your testicles, your test will increase.
Yeah,
It's
because
like,
definitely bioavailable through testicles. I forgot.
Well, liver definitely is super micronutrient dense.
Oh yeah, it's good for you. Don't get me wrong, but it's not gonna build muscle.
It's
Like,
not gonna go. Yeah,
It's not gonna make
it's
you.
not
Look,
gonna give him.
I mean, it will, but
implants.
it's not gonna make you look insanely much better than like everybody else, like ever.
Have you guys ever heard of the old wise tale? The old divine protein shake.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What's his name? Did that? Connor Murphy.
Connor Murphy.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, that's who it was.
dude,
yeah.
that dude is weird now.
You know who Connor Murphy is, Blayne?
I've heard the name.
Oh my
He's-
God! You gotta go on a Connor Murphy rabbit hole.
He's weird. Bro. So he used to be in the fitness industry. He was like he
He was like the top fitness influencer for a while.
For a while, like before, like was even like that big. He wasn't doing fitness stuff necessarily, but he looked pretty good. I don't think he was natty.
It was like he'd like go out and be like dressed as a nerd, and then he'd like lift his shirt up for girls, like that kind of guy.
And he had the abs, and they'll be like, "Oh my god,
that's completely fake."
I love
fraudulent.
Yeah,
like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like he would talk to girls, stuff like that. And then eventually he took ayahuasca or DMT.
it was ayahuasca.
Which is DMT,
it is DMT. Yeah,
but it's just a mushroom, right?
something like
He
that.
took
or a leaf.
ayahuasca, which is extreme psychedelic, and then he just had like a mental breakdown, and like he went to psychosis basically, and like said he put out a video that where he's like he's gonna kill himself, like basically like a video like saying he's gonna kill himself and do all this stuff, but then he said like in the comments or like in the description beforehand he prefaced it by saying it was acting, but like it clearly wasn't acting.
Wasn't.
Well, because he
But,
was
like, you
saying it's
can't-
for a TV show, right? Like he was
Yeah,
trying to get
it's
a part in a TV
fucked up.
show, and then
So then like I mean
Yeah.
his friends obviously they see this video like what the fuck's going on, so they call the cops and like try to figure out where he is, stuff like that. And then I'm not sure what happens afterwards. Obviously, he didn't end up.
he did a bunch. Just like he just kept going crazy, I think, and then
And
eventually he got to the point where he starts doing yoga in
Was
really
he-
weird
Was
positions.
he natural or unnatural?
Before that, he definitely wasn't natty.
You know, he's taking
I think
something.
he even admitted to it because now he's like so. Now he's on like a bunch of psychedelics. He like microdoses. I don't know exactly what he does now.
says he's Jesus, isn't he?
Yeah, and he claims to be like the second coming of Jesus.
So do you think that whatever he was taking for muscle building at the time had mixed with the psychedelics? Made that
I think he
happen?
took an extreme amount of psychedelics.
I don't think it has anything to do.
Do you think they mixed or they just?
I don't think it does
just
anything.
straight psychedelics.
I don't act on the same.
I don't think it had anything
Things,
to do with
right?
each
No.
other, but I think it was just that he might have just wasn't ready for it, and he just kind of fucked himself up.
Went off the rails.
But anyways,
Because he was like a completely normal, this like guy, and then like he's like really weird now, and like he talks about how he's the second coming of Jesus, and how dude, I'll look up.
you have to. But the divine protein shake, he started doing a bunch of yoga and all this stuff with people, really weird positions, like
Yeah.
they kind of look like
Was it
sex
all
positions,
was it all
right?
for YouTube?
No,
It's
this is
just-
post
it's just him.
psychedelic psychosis, like
It's just him doing it.
yep. And then he'd the divine protein shake is he would drink other men's semen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He claimed it increases testosterone.
Maybe he was onto something.
Okay, now he's like back to his old self. Like what?
Yeah, he started uploading regular videos. Remember when we were going to
Yeah, we're
get his lab equipment? We went on the Conor Murphy.
now he's like normal stuff. One of his videos says, "I took anabolic steroids for 30 days, and this happened." What?
No, he's
Yeah, now he's doing his normal stuff that he used to. What is it?
With the girls and the abs and stuff.
Yeah, it says nerd transforms into Chad at drive-through with Conor Murphy.
how many views is
Maybe
he
he's
getting?
low on money.
I don't think they're not getting nearly as much as you get. Like they're like 50,000.
No, they used to be like
That's still a good
million
amount
views.
though.
Like
Yeah, no, but
50K is still a good amount.
he has like 2.
you're still pulling in some money, but
It's enough to make you keep
But
on
it's-
doing it.
Look,
yeah.
Conor Murphy drinks another man's seeming to make gains. My analysis is 1.4 days.
Do you guys watch Derek?
He's so
Yeah.
funny.
Occasionally, yeah.
No, I watched. I don't know. I feel like you might have seen this guy. His name's Captain Sinbad on YouTube. You might have seen. I feel like you would watch that type of
I
videos.
feel like I might have.
He's like a kind of like a not men's health, but like improvement guy. Like I would say. Like,
That's not who I was thinking. I thought.
no, it's-
No, you remember the one dude that did the live? He'd went on like Omegle and would say really offensive stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know his name, but that's who I thought of when you.
No,
said
I'm
that.
not talking about that.
Okay,
No.
yeah, continue.
No, I don't. I don't just binge watch that guy.
Sounds fun.
No, but he made this video like impersonating Derek, and it's so funny. He was like, "This guy's taking looking saucy." He's just like, he did like impersonations so well.
Looking really saucy.
Yeah, no, but have you watched Derek?
I do, yeah.
He's very.
I feel like I don't have enough base knowledge to really understand everything he's talking about, though.
Either do I really. He says a lot of words that I don't understand, but
I feel like Russ would understand him really well.
Well, honestly, like he helped me learn a lot of stuff. Like because I was following him years and years ago, like when he first started making videos, and when he was talking about like SARMs and stuff, and he'd do like hour break, like I don't know if he still does this, but he used to do hour-long like breakdowns of like compounds, like just dissecting studies on camera. And I learned a lot from him in that sense. He was a lot more nerdish, I feel like, than he is now, because he's kind of like going into like the mainstream.
Yeah.
He was way more of a nerd.
Supplement line and everything now.
Yeah.
It's kind of more like a big brand.
yeah, Russ got me into Derek, more plays for Derek, and Greg before like Greg even had like 40,000 subscribers. I was watching
Coach Greg.
We were watching Coach Greg and him like back in the day. They both did. All that.
I liked them back then better though. It's just a shame how they have to
push their brand now.
yeah.
But I feel like Derek still makes good videos.
He definitely does, and he's definitely still
Greg's
super
just kinda-
smart. But
I feel like at some point you kind of covered everything in bodybuilding. Not like everything, but like Derek, he's been doing it for years now. It's like, what new stuff can you really talk about?
well, I mean, there is always new like compounds coming out, and there's new things he could talk about for sure. It's just that he has to go with the demand, and the demand of the general population is like drama, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I feel like
I get it.
It's like videos of
It's just unfortunate.
He
Like
kind of
that-
talked about it recently. That's like business. Like he's a businessman now. Like he has to make business
the
decisions.
thing is, I feel
Yeah,
like
I don't blame at all. I do
it's
the
like
same thing.
his
probably,
videos
but-
are now like, it's like he reacts to like TikToks of like gym trauma and everything. That was a couple months back. There was this video of someone smashing a 25-pound plate on someone's head doing skull crushers.
I saw that. Yeah.
no, but I feel like he stays like somewhat like fairly good like on like his like first and main agenda. Like it was like he still like stays true to himself. I feel like he still talks about it's like I don't know pharmacology and stuff like that. He still like he still relates it to his own interest. Still, he still like
He breaks down videos and into his own
where it's just like
his own realm sort of.
yeah,
So
where like
doesn't matter,
Greg
you're
is
not-
just
Greg is just there yelling at the guy. Like,
Greg is just
oh, you're
I
wrong.
don't like
He's
okay, I like
Greg
Greg.
changed a lot. Greg used to be like he used to be a big nerd too. Like he'd do long breakdowns of SARMs and stuff too. And like you're a really smart dude. He's not saying he's not now, but like he's changed a lot.
He kind of just like
Well, now
I
he's
can't take his videos. It's just too much.
now he's kind of like I'm aimed to be is like teaches people how to lose weight and the basics of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's very vital. Like I do like that. Like he
He's supposed
just
to sell
calls
his-
out the stupid like the bull crap basically and just like tells it how it is. Like for like a beginner, like it's everything he says is like he's just like
It's right.
it's right. Yeah, he's
Most of it at least.
I like
except
that.
for his testosterone claims.
testosterone claims.
He's gotta
Yeah.
push his product.
He got it. He is a businessman. He's just trying to sell his freaking cookbook, dude. That's all he does.
Every time he censors a swear word,
It
he
says
goes
cookbook. Yeah, it's pretty funny. No, I used to. No, I don't know. I like Greg, but he's too much. He's fucking yelling all the time.
Well, that's entertaining though. That's why he gets his
And no,
views.
that's his
I-
brand. I understand.
I like what he pushes. I like that he pushes people he teaches people how to lose weight, the basics and everything. Like that's what I want to push because that's what I know, and I know what works.
yeah.
Yeah, like
No,
there's no doubt. Like if someone wants like good information, you go to Greg Doucette's channel. Like,
He's kind of like the starter channel.
it's a starter. Yeah.
And you move on to more plates, more dates, and then
It's very. It's. I feel like
Then
it's
Then
very.
you go to Human Lab,
and then you go
and you have
to
no idea what
Murphy
he's
next.
talking about.
what's the other guy's name?
Um,
The lion. He has the lion.
Oh, Leo
Leo.
Longevity.
Yep.
He is. I really like Leo. Leo Longevity is another good channel. He used to be big with. He used to do a lot of podcasts with Boston Lloyd, but then ever since Boston Lloyd passed away, he hasn't really made too many more. But
Boston Lloyd's that. Did I show you that transformation?
craziest
Yeah.
transformation of all
And
time,
then
Boston
he died in
Lloyd.
the dirt bike hack or the
No.
motorcycle accident, right?
That's a different guy.
No, that's Riley Pelfey.
Yeah, he was like 19, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's
That's
sad.
really
his physique was insane though
Riley
for being
Pelfey?
19. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was wild.
I used to watch his videos all the time. He had good shit. I liked him.
I never watched his videos. I just learned about him when he passed away. But
He's
he was
fucking
massive.
crazy. Like he was gonna be like one of the best like ever. He's
Well, his
19
goal was to be the youngest classic pro.
That's
He
like
definitely could have been too.
he could have been.
What's the youngest classic pro?
Like classic physique, he was trying to
But
be.
like what like age? I'm saying.
Oh, I'm not sure what
Wasn't
it is.
Jeff Side the youngest pro? Jeff C. How do you say it? I don't know. Jeff Side.
I'm not sure how you
I
pronounce
think
it.
he might have been. Did Anthony ever? Does Anthony get his pro card yet?
I think he
I
placed
thought-
he placed third. I don't know if that gets a pro card though.
Remember when Anthony
I'm not sure.
gained 30 pounds in like 7 days? You remember that?
That was
Yeah.
definitely all for YouTube though too.
No, it
all,
definitely
not all
wasn't.
of it, but like
He definitely
it
just,
made
like,
for a
couldn't
good
stop.
YouTube video.
No, it did. Yeah.
It was
No one
such,
gains 30
it was such clickbait.
Pro cards are like easier to get these days now though, and like a lot of people talk about that. Like before Boston died, like he didn't even get his pro card. Like, he didn't have the best genetics, but he still looked like a freak. But anyways, like he said his goal was to reject a pro card, like to make like a statement.
Why?
Just like I don't know, he's just mad because he's like it's easy to get it these days, and just I don't know.
Oh, I see.
He's an interesting guy. I don't know, different.
What was the? You had one question that you asked me in the car. What was your question?
Oh, would you rather have like complete regulation in terms of laws, like everything's monitored, or none at all?
Everything is monitored, I think.
I'd rather have none at all.
I would said none at all. That's what I said immediately.
Because
That's
everything.
a hard question though.
But eventually,
Really
if
gotta think
everything's
about it.
monitored, people are going to start rebelling.
Yeah,
Eventually, and it's going to revert back to nothing.
Or are we like
Yeah,
including that in the like we're including that situation in the hypothetically here? Like if people are
Yeah.
gonna start rebelling, or are we gonna just go like
Or
if
they
it
just
no
have
if
to
it
deal
stay
with
if it stays like this, like it's always regulated, I still wouldn't want that.
But that's a dangerous assumption because, I mean, look at North Korea.
Well, no, just assume. Just assume for a bit. It's gonna be completely monitored. You can't do anything about it. It's for me. It would just like become like almost like a Black Mirror-esque like civilization.
It feels like there'd be less purpose to live.
It would just be so black and white, and it kind of just like sad.
Boring. Exactly.
It'd be so boring.
Like The Giver.
Yeah,
Remember The Giver movie?
A lot of
Literally
people would
black.
die, that's for sure. But
yeah, that's what
I
I'm
don't think
scared
anyone
about.
would
No,
die.
because I feel like it would be Russia. Like if you rebel against the government, they'll just kill you.
Well, yeah, but if
You
there's
know.
there's no rules, someone doesn't like you, you're fucking dead. So
Yeah, but if
I
you're
feel like
alive
there'd
though,
be less.
fun.
I feel like there'd be conflict, but I feel like there'd be conflict in different ways. And I feel like people would actually have to help each other.
I'd rather
instead of-
have-
I feel like the hierarchy would establish itself in a more meaningful manner.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I
yeah.
mean?
I
It
think-
would, it would be natural selection at its finest.
and it'd
Like,
be like you give you purpose, and like I'd rather take physical harm and like physical like damage. I'll say not damage, but like the
Hardship.
threat. Yeah, like the threat of that, like over just like having spiritually and just like mentally, like having no purpose. Like
But if we just transferred tomorrow to having no rules, we already have the infrastructure and everything. Like we could still be a functioning society.
yeah, what do you mean like by no rules?
I think, I mean, like,
I think
no
there's no
speed limit,
civilization.
no murder, like, nothing.
So
no laws.
Complete,
back
just
in the Stone Age,
total
yes.
anarchy.
I feel like
Just-
that'd be. Okay,
I feel like no matter what happens, if you let things happen, eventually we're gonna go back to there's gonna be a government of some sort,
it always
or
does.
if there's 100%. I think the only thing that people revert to is like in the middle.
I think
Like I feel like
think
you would never stay without
either
completely
way,
without rules.
either side of the spectrum you go, it's just gonna revert back to how it is right now.
That's gonna say.
Because if you said there's no rules, I
But
think
that would take
within a
long.
day you would have a group of people that are like, we don't kill people. Or you'd have a whole town that's like, all right, we are not allowing murder here. If you kill anybody, we're gonna.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
the thing is like it's not realistic to say either of those hypotheticals that they would stay that way because it's just like it's a natural cycle. I feel like almost that.
Yeah, like it would have to.
If you have no rules, there's gonna be people who establish themselves as the top of the line people.
Yeah,
and
that's-
they're gonna be the new
there's always
Ooh.
hierarchies.
hierarchy.
And if there's hierarchies, there's gonna be rules, and there's gonna like that's the thing. Like there's Jordan Peterson's talking about hierarchies. He's known for that. People say like hierarchies are like naturally bad and stuff like that, and like that we should just like get rid of them. But the thing is like it's a natural law of life. Like there's gonna be hierarchies. And this is
There's
how,
hierarchy with everything.
this is how I explained it. Like people like there's problems in life, obviously, and you want those problems to be solved. So how do you do that? And so you want the best person to solve those problems, and boom, right there's a hierarchy right there. You want to incentivize the person that's best at solving the problems.
Well, you want someone with an IQ of 80
Yeah, exactly.
trying to get you to Mars. Like, no, you want someone with an IQ of
And then
150.
boom, there's a hierarchy. There's some people that are better at solving certain problems, and you want to incentivize them because not only is it better for that person, they'll get more wealth or whatnot, whatever resources for solving those problems, but also you'll get better things because they're more efficient at solving the problems. They're like it's just better. Like you need hierarchies in order to have a good civilization. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's not like you need it, but like
It would
literally
revert
just
back to
happens.
it.
Yeah, like-
Everything would. There's a hierarchy with everything. It's like you look at, like, you have a solar system even. You got the sun. That's, if it explodes, it destroys everything. And you got the planets, and then you got moons.
yeah.
Like, it's still a hierarchy.
It's just
in
a
way.
natural law of life. Yeah.
Exactly.
I just find that very interesting. So you would say that you would have no rules.
Yeah, I think you'd have more of a purpose with no rules.
What did you never
I
answered
think
it.
I think with no rules, like I said before, there's gonna be that group at the top, and then it's gonna be super regulated anyway because they're just gonna regulate everything else.
Yeah, I'd rather have.
I
But
feel
there
like
would be
you go to one side of the spectrum, and basically eventually you get to the other side,
I'd rather just.
no matter which way you go.
I feel
Because
like
if you go with a lot of rules, then people are gonna break those rules, and there's gonna be no rules, and then you're on this side.
But the thing is now we're not allowed to challenge the top, because if you do, you get shunned, you get thrown in prison, you get canceled on social media. I mean, we see it every day. You challenge the government, goodbye, because the government's clearly the best. But if someone else, you know what I mean? If the hierarchy was reestablished, there would be no hesitation to challenge
But
the
that's
top.
the same thing with, it's the same thing everywhere. Like, because even when you have the 100% rule like North Korea, you don't get canceled, but you'll get killed.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what, there's going to be the people that rebel, and there's going to be consequences with that. But I think, then I agree with what you said.
Did you guys see that Andrew Tate got banned on Facebook and Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
What did he get
For
banned for?
what?
Just
Yeah.
being,
I don't.
just being him.
I'm not sure.
Basically,
Probably.
yeah. I don't know.
What was your What do you think about your question? What would you say? Rules or no rules? Because you never answered. You never told me.
I think it's a very complicated question, but probably, yeah, I don't know.
Well,
You gotta answer
You're,
it.
you're the
Probably no rules, because I feel like I would like the opportunity for people to challenge one another and like establish actually who belongs at the top versus actually who belongs at the bottom versus just pretending one's the best, pretending, you know what I mean?
I agree with that completely. Actually,
That's
you
my
are-
not saying we should have like no laws, but I feel like I'd
better
way
be
rather have the
contrary.
consequences of having no laws and people like being a little bit of hardship than having to deal with just like complete regulation. Like that's so sad to me. I just like
It's sad because like I was telling you about that post the Andrew Tate thing. That guy that I follow, Russo Lifts on
Yeah.
Instagram. He said he didn't agree with a lot of Andrew Tate's stuff that he posts, but he doesn't agree with canceling him and banning him because now you can no longer agree to disagree, and that's, you know what I mean.
it just like bans it, like the whole
it's
conversation.
forcing the
Yeah.
way to think.
It's
Exactly.
forcing you to think in one way, or it's forcing you like to have a closed mind.
That's just like the same thing that like Elon Musk said with Twitter. Like he's not like, I mean, I think he leans right, and like I think he's Republican somewhat. I feel like
Yeah.
in his ideologies for politics, but he's saying like I want it to be 100% fair. I'm not gonna ban like because it's important to have conversations whether you agree with the person or not. That's healthy. You should disagree with people.
If you were to ban someone like they did with Andrew Tate, you're basically saying that guy's wrong,
Yeah,
and you're
then
saying the other group is right.
You're completely
Exactly.
eliminating the ability to think about the opposite argument,
yeah,
which, like you said, is just completely eliminates an open mind.
and I feel like once there's more regulation stuff like that, that's the type of shit that would happen more often. Like that is what would happen if there's more regulation. And I just prefer if there's no regulation and having to deal with the other negatives of that than having to deal with everything censored, everything like that just sounds like a horrible civilization.
Well,
to
you
me.
already see like the civilization we have now. When you
Yeah.
look at it as a whole, it's pretty boring. Like
Yeah.
it's boring and sad. Like people work 8 hours a day, go home, a lot of them drink because they hate their lives, and then they wake up, do the same thing every day. It's a terrible life.
Yeah, in a way, we're almost like not complete regulated, but
We are
we're regulated not on
basically
paper,
complete.
like just like kind of like
Regulated by
society
by
is regulated.
human nature, sort
And
of.
furthermore,
Yeah.
like to go back to the thing where the government's on top and like they always win. Like I read this post on Instagram the other day actually. Ever since Nixon took us off the gold standard,
which is the gold standard.
we're basically like our monetary value is directly correlated to amount of gold.
In the treasury.
Oh yeah,
right?
that makes,
Yeah.
the
So
gold
you're
reserve.
basically saying money has like no value. There's no backing.
Well, it used to be
That
the
you're
only
saying.
amount of money you could print is the amount of money that is in the treasury in
Yeah.
gold.
Yeah, and that's a very good way to regulate it, because now like this guy that I followed, he said it. This is the exact words. It turns out that if you can just print unlimited resources, aka money, like you will always win. And it's like, but anyways, to get back to my point, ever since we got taken off the gold standard, workers' wages have been steadily decreasing over the years as the government's spending our debt money. Like it's just, and it's
And
only
the price
increasing.
Of living is increasing.
Yeah, and
Everything
exactly.
increases
Yeah.
while wage decreases.
Like, and that's just another factor like I thought about when I was asking this question. It's like, well, do you really want this to keep on going? Like, I'm not.
I
don't
just
know.
saw a picture. The minimum wage in Texas is like $7.25, and the average cost to rent a single bedroom house or apartment, I don't know what kind of house has one bedroom, but yeah, that it's like $2,000 a month in Texas, and you're like not even close to being able to afford it.
Well, Texas is one of the cheaper states to buy real estate too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
Like,
It's like this. I saw this one meme. It was like people like this complaining, like say like to buy a house, like this American dream, stuff like that, and like how and like how all these old guys are like asking like 500 grand for like a house.
Yeah.
Like they bought it for like a couple berries, like they're like you know,
Yeah.
because that's how it was. Like you're just
Not even that long ago either.
like last generation of like people, like not last, like 2 generations ago, like they're buying houses for like unbelievably less like money, and like now it's like you need to like literally like take out like 3 mortgages to pay for one.
It's stupid. Like our house
Just do it.
Our house was bought for like 120 grand.
Yeah.
We could probably sell it for like 250.
Yeah.
Not 250, like 220 probably, but still a ridiculous amount of money for the kind of house it is.
It's crazy. Like I don't know much about real estate. I don't know much about like the housing market, but apparently just like it's crazy right now.
Also back in about that Texas thing, you also have to remember that majority of people live in Austin, Houston, which are like high-rise apartments. So of course those cost more.
Yeah.
So it's kind of botched numbers, but still the same.
Still representation of how
Yeah.
bad it's getting.
Danielle brought some statistic up to me the other day. Is like the average apartment in New York, I think, was $5,000 a month.
Yeah, New York is ridiculous,
Yeah.
and a lot of people don't make that much money.
And for that $5 grand, you got about the size of this room here.
Probably, yeah, for a whole apartment.
Yep.
Yeah, if you're lucky. It's a good one. It's a big one.
Have you seen some of the apartments in New York?
I haven't seen.
You can actually stand in there and do this, and you can touch both walls.
That's just like not worth it.
It's like $3 grand a month.
That's terrible.
Yeah,
But
I would not want to live
in those
a city
places.
like
You're
that.
probably making a lot more money though too, and you have more opportunity to make more money.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
basically just paying for the whole network of and community of people there and like the
Yeah.
opportunities.
Yeah.
Because Mountain Iron, you're not gonna find the same opportunities in New York City.
yeah, but even
There's
in
just not as much demand for a place here than in New York.
yeah, but even in like Los Angeles, like Eric was talking about getting an apartment down there, and for like a 2-bedroom, living room, full kitchen apartment, it's only like $3,200, and that's in like either LA or San Diego.
It's interesting.
So another very high demand place has pretty cheap rental prices.
Yeah,
Bryce was looking at places down in Arizona, and the size of the apartments down there wasn't too bad. I don't know the exact numbers, but
Yeah, because
it wasn't
Arizona,
terrible.
I think
Arizona,
that whole like
I think Arizona's pretty cheap.
that whole like desert area is
Yeah,
pretty cheap.
I think
It
that's
makes
where- I think
sense.
that's
It's
where
like
he was looking
100
at.
every day.
yeah, no one wants to.
But people move there for that Texas at least, because there's no state income tax, so
Yeah.
people are constantly moving there.
I would like to live in Texas. I feel like Texas is sick.
I'm going there after high school.
I would
Straight
like
to
to live
Texas.
in Vegas.
I like to live in the South. And golf
South,
every day.
yeah.
That's why Bryce.
I think Texas is like-
I'm not telling my plan on a podcast. But big money moves.
Is it what you told me about?
Yeah,
Dude, I'll come with you.
do it, dude. Big money moves.
I don't care. No, but I definitely want to live like. I want to live in like a higher populated area than like obviously Iron Range. So basically anything else.
You want
But
to live in like a suburb
yeah,
outside of the main city, but you could still drive to a main city.
exactly. I don't want to like move to LA or New York, just like that, because like that'd be fun. I feel like, but also it's like I can't.
I'd be
Imagine-
so burnt out of that so fast.
I couldn't imagine that because
I love living in Duluth, honestly.
Duluth is very nice. Like it's a very like good balance.
So it's kind of like a whole suburb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
There's
And it-
stuff to do, but
and if you like want 2 hours is a lot, but like, if you really like want to do something in the cities or like you need like 2 hours, it's not bad. Like
a
you,
lot better than 3.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like, what are you gonna do on the Iron Range though? Like,
Nothing.
there's nothing to do.
Yeah. That's just,
No, but where would you want to live, Russ? You said you want to live in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. I was listening
Why
to
Las Vegas?
Jake Cutler, the bodybuilder, talk about he lived in Las Vegas like throughout his whole career, and he said he just loves it there because the city never sleeps. So you go anywhere, middle of the night, 3 a.m, and places are open, people are moving. I like that idea,
Yeah, that sounds.
and it's
Actually,
nice climate and just I don't know.
Fuck all that. I'm not living in the United States. Actually, I'm going to somewhere else. I don't know. I'm gonna go to Romania with Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate convinced me to not live in the United States.
Yeah, I wanna just travel. I feel like everyone says that, but like I would like to experience
No.
anything other than Western culture. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that is important for everyone to experience, like to realize how regulated and how many things like that we cannot do here. Like they say it's the land of the free and all, and like it is. It's a great place to live. It's a safe, good place to live. But like until you go to a different country, like when we went to Mexico, for example, like it's a big culture shock. Like
it's pretty sick.
the amount of things that you could do there that we can't do here is just it's indescribable, really.
I think the way that people look at it, like if you're like a normal person in the United States, like you're free in all these other countries. But if you're a rich person in these like not third world countries, but
They're pretty third world.
like I don't want
Mexico's not a third world country, but it's not.
these lesser countries.
Yeah.
If you're a rich person there, then you have the absolute freedom because
You have a lot more pull.
Literally.
exactly because you literally are like you basically just like have stock in the country at that point.
No,
Like,
you
'cause if you have
like
the
Andrew
money-
Tate was talking about. He's like, if some dude got pulled over doing 160, and he went to jail for 3 months in the United States, and Andrew Tate's like, I got pulled over doing 160 2 weeks ago. I gave the guy a 50 and he let me go.
That's how
Yeah,
it,
no, it's true. Like in
how it is.
Mexico, that's what they do.
it's exactly what they told us. Like right when we got into like the van to go, is like, yeah, if we get pulled over, just give them money.
Well, it's because I don't think people understand. Like the government and the police in Mexico is the cartel. Like,
No, it is.
It's the same.
It's
So
just
like
the
that's
cartel
like
said for every member that they arrest, they'll kill a police officer in Mexico. That's what the cartel said.
yeah.
So no one messes with the cartel. But yeah, and then $20 American in Mexico is like half a year's wage.
It's crazy. Do you know what's like the exchange rate for like the Venezuelan currency? It's like crazy.
It's like
It's
$1 like a billion Venezuelan
yeah,
dollars.
it's stupid.
No, have you heard about the Zimbabwe dollar? They had a whole crisis where like it's so stupid. I think it was like $1 American was like or a loaf of bread or something was like 41 trillion Zimbabwe dollars.
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
What the hell? No, that's why you don't print money.
Exactly. And then you look at it, you're like, oh, Germany did that after World War II to pay for all their stuff, and then their dollar, they couldn't like buy bread with less than $1 billion, whatever. But then the United States is like, hey, let's do that.
Yeah, I'm so confused because like I feel like obviously I've seen it happen. I've heard it through history, but I think that's common sense. Like that, if you print more of something just for no reason that has no like actual backing up for it, you're just diluting the value of it. Like that just seems.
Yeah.
How would just printing money just make you have more money? It's not how it works.
That's also why these countries are not very. They're poorer countries.
No, but we're doing
They're
it.
just not as smart.
But
Yeah,
what if
like,
you-
But
We-
that's the
like,
point,
that's
is
what I
that
was
the
saying.
United States was like, hey, they made the mistake of doing it. Clearly, let's do it.
let's do it too.
That's what I was saying when Nixon took us off the gold standard. Like that's basically what happened,
Yeah.
and it just screwed everyone up except the higher ups in the government.
Which is probably why they took it off the gold standard. Because they're probably like, oh, rich people are going to get catapulted, and then there are going to be less opportunity for people to take over.
How many this is this big discussion of how Putin's like actually like the richest person alive. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
How many people do you think? Do you think there's are more wealthy people than like Elon Musk? Do you think there's
100%. No,
it's like
Putin is
secret killers.
100% more wealthy.
You think so?
100%. He runs Russia. He could literally say, give me that mega mansion, and it's his.
Yeah,
No one can stop him.
that's kind of crazy.
That's how he is. If you say no, he'll just shoot you in the head and take it.
How did
And
Putin ever get into power? How does that like?
It used to be a somewhat democracy. I think he got elected into it. And then he completely changed it to a dictatorship. It was like, it's mine.
Dude, he's a killer too. Like, isn't he?
He's in the KGB.
He's in the KGB. He's like a black belt in like some martial arts.
Everything.
Like,
Probably.
probably everything.
That's definitely how he got elected. It's because he was in the KGB.
Yeah.
That makes
He
sense.
moved
And it
up
was
through
because there was the
ranks.
transition from the USSR.
I don't think it was
Russia.
ever like a democracy though.
It wasn't democracy, but I think
No, but it wasn't-
always.
it
It was
wasn't
definitely less
Putin.
strict.
it wasn't always.
It's not even a dictatorship. It's just Putin.
It's not even a name for the government. It's Putin.
Exactly. Yeah, and have you ever seen like how cheap it is for things involving the government and like even South Korea?
What do you
Like
mean?
South Korea seems, I don't know exactly like any negatives of South Korea, but I've seen like the price to have a baby in the United States is like $20,000, like out of pocket after insurance, $20,000, and in South Korea it was like 160 US dollars.
Jeez.
And there's just I keep seeing videos about South Korea for some reason, but it just seems like a very well-established first world country.
Don't you want to go to South Korea or is that Japan?
Japan too.
Japan would be sick.
I've been watching
Yeah.
videos of
You wanna-
PewDiePie living in Japan, and I want to
You
go
want to go there or do you want to live there?
go there first. I don't know.
Yeah, he's not gonna.
I've watched
Or, like-
PewDiePie his videos, and I'm like, hey, that seems like a cool place to live, but I don't know. I feel like I'd have to be there.
Yeah, I think it'd be a big shock, but like,
Well, because like there've been, I saw a whole thing on Twitter. It was like 50-50 split because this black lady went to some country, and she was like a celebrity there because she was the only person of color there. So people were like taking pictures with her, and she was like all hyped about it. She's like,
Yeah.
"This is cool. Like everyone loves me here," because no one was like mean to her about it. But then like bunch of people were like, "Oh, that's terrible," but I feel like that's how it'd be if I went to Japan. Like you just look so you don't look like drastically different, but like you look quite a bit different.
People know you're
It's like
a
if you
foreigner.
like see a Japanese person up here, people will
I think
look
that's
twice
more
at them.
I think it's like Mountain Iron.
It's just
I
an
feel like,
uncommon place to be.
Yeah, so then I feel like people will just be looking at you all the time, and you kind of be
yeah, but I feel like it's more common in the United States because like we're like all immigrants. Like,
Yeah.
everyone originates from immigrants, but like
true.
Japan, I feel like if you're like a Caucasian male,
You're that like
You'd
feel
be
it's-
fine there though. I feel like there's so many Caucasian males who go there that you'd be
yeah.
fine.
yeah, I don't think it'd be a big problem.
No,
but
I don't
feel
think anyone. And I think Japan is a much better established country than the United States. Also, after we nuked them, like they
Messed
kind of
up.
established.
we messed
I'm
up,
no,
bro.
no. That sounded so bad.
We made
That's
them.
not what I meant though. But like actually, like we nuked them. They had to reestablish a democracy, and they outdid their democracy. They outdid our democracy. From what I've seen,
Yeah, what are their democracy now? Or have they always been?
it's similar to the United States. It's some different kind of democracy.
Yeah, I lack a lot of knowledge when it comes to geography.
That's from CIA World
Just like-
Fact Book.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did that same thing. For whatever reason I don't remember it.
Yeah. It's like a parliamentary democracy or something. I
Dude,
don't know.
before I took world history last year, like I honestly like didn't know any not world history. Yeah, it was a world history. Like I didn't know any geography or anything.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know where any countries were. Like I didn't.
I actually learned a lot more than I realized I did from that class,
Like I'm really bad when it comes to like.
and I didn't like it.
Yeah, it was not fun.
I don't know. There are definitely better places to be than the United States.
Yeah, I always want to explore. We need to do a trip with the boys to like Europe.
All right.
I know.
My parents were like, "Hey, for a grad party, let's get a bunch of food trucks." I'm like, "No, just give me the money that you'd spend on the food trucks, and I'll go somewhere."
That's what I'm saying. We need
Yeah.
to go to Mexico too.
We'll go to Mexico. We gotta go to Japan.
We always say we're gonna do this stuff. We never do it. We gotta do it.
Well, we
though.
can actually do it after basketball this year because there's literally nothing that's gonna hold us back.
Yeah. No, Mexico is really sick. I want to also go to. I can't wait till like one of us gets married. That would be so sick. The bachelor party.
Yeah, it's fun for a night, and then you're stuck. No more trips.
No more trips ever.
Yeah.
And
Can't
then-
wait for Russ's bachelor party. We go to a UFC fight.
I'd be going to my UFC fight.
Yeah, we're in jiu-jitsu now.
Yeah, you should talk about Jiu Jitsu. I don't know what
I've
that
only-
entails, so
So, I don't know how to describe it. We took 3 days, so we're nowhere.
Where did you do this?
It's in Hibbing. It's called Iron Academy.
Oh, you know what? Kaylin told me that their teacher was her old Taekwondo teacher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he used to teach Taekwondo. He only does
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu now. But yeah, his name's Shane. He's a good guy. I don't know his last name.
As known by Professor Shane.
We need to get him on the podcast. He's actually a very good guy. I don't know if he would, but
He'd hop on the podcast.
I talked to him. He's very nice, and he's a black belt. He's crazy. Like because like every once in a while they do the demonstrations on people. He hasn't done one on me yet, but like there's another black belt. His name's Chad. I don't know his last name either, but he like did a demonstration on me. And you can just like tell like he's on top of you, and
Could
you're like
destroy you.
he's like he can do anything you wanted. Oh shit!
Well, that's all right.
God damn it!
You can continue.
Oh, can we?
Yeah, we could just put a little audio spectrum going over it, make it look good.
Okay, that's fair. No, and he's like when he's on top of you, like you can like, it's the way he uses weight. He didn't even like do any like submissions or like moves or anything. He just like the way he has weight on you, like you can't move or do anything. You're like this guy can just do whatever he wants with me. And like one time, like it's called Kimura. Let's see the submission, like you like put stress on your shoulder. And Russ was like, I can't feel it, like, because Jay was doing it on him. And he's like, who can't feel it? And he went over and did it on Russ. He's like, Russ is like it's crazy.
So what made you get into this?
I've always been interested into it. I mean, so is Ross, haven't you? Like,
Yeah.
because just like watching Joe Rogan, he's a black belt, just like all these other people. And I feel like, I don't know, it's not really like a big physical thing. I mean, it's really physical taxing. It is physical, but like it's more just like problem solving and mental. Like, a lot of like highly established people I just feel like do jiu-jitsu. I've always been interested in do it. Like I always wanted like to take some sort of
fighting.
Mixed martial arts. Yes.
Martial arts.
Some martial arts, just like be able to defend myself, like my family, if I ever needed to. It's not like I want to go out there just like hey, fucker, you want to fight?
Yeah,
Like,
go to this guy in the
I
street.
I just feel like there's a confidence you can only attain just by knowing that you can just like kick someone's ass. Not that you
Yeah.
need to, but like just like knowing that like if you're in any situation, you can just absolutely destroy someone. I feel like that's like very valuable. Just the way you carry yourself, and like the whole thing is like they'll tell you the first day is like, well, they didn't tell us, but like most jiu-jitsu people or people that know martial arts is like the biggest thing is don't fight. Like no one wants to fight. Yeah, like if there's a way to get out, because it's like the stakes are too high. It's not worth it to fight.
Yeah.
But
it's
I'd way rather
knowing you can.
yeah, I'd way rather be the
Instead-
person who's like
Sense of
confident
confidence.
and know that you can fight versus the person who like doesn't ever need to use it. Like it's like the one quote, I'd rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
Yeah.
Like why would I?
Just having that ability is nice.
Exactly. And it's the way you carry yourself. I feel like it translates. Same thing with just like physique and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like,
it's the same, I was about to say it's the same thing with bodybuilding.
exactly.
It's like
so.
just having that bigger physique gives you more perks,
No, and it's
more
just
confidence.
and it's very good. Just like I feel like it's cognitively, like I said, it's very problem solving. It's like chess. It's honestly like chess. Like that's how Joe Rogan described it. It's just like high level problem solving with dire consequences. That's what he says. It's like all it is. It's the same thing as
that makes
chess.
sense.
So I don't know. It's very interesting.
I'd like to do it.
You should if you have the ability to. You should. I've only done 3 days so far, but it's very. Do you even know what do you know what jiu-jitsu is?
It's more defense, right? Like grappling.
It's
Yeah,
grappling.
that
It's
kind
like
of
it's kind of like wrestling.
Mhm.
It's not striking like you punch people. It's I don't know how to explain it. You just like try to put people in submissions and stuff like that, or it's like make them so they're like useless. Well, what do you think about it so far, Ross?
I love it. It's I don't know. I don't have too much to say. Like you kind of covered all of it, but yeah, it's really unique. I'm glad that I joined it for sure.
Yeah, it's been an interest of mine for a very long time. I just like never got like the ball because it's kind of scary. Like you go in there because you're like they're these high level people like the black belts. Like I don't know.
There's
There's
the first time joining a gym
yeah.
and you go by yourself.
It's
you don't know what
scary.
you're doing.
I'm glad I went with Russ and Jay.
Yeah.
We're all signed up, and so we went together. And like they're just doing these things like the warm ups, like things like it's like almost like Russ said, it's like playing a sport again, like in high school, and
Yeah,
like
that's what I felt like for me.
it's like it's like these like warm ups for basketballs. You know, like just like do like ball handling, dribbles, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like you do like warm up stuff for jujitsu, and like you just like don't know what they're doing. Like it's very intimidating.
Yeah.
Like when the first time I went up against like a random, this last session, it was yesterday actually. I went up against a random guy. I was sparring with some dude I didn't even know. It was like comparable to like being placed in like a varsity game for the first time. It's like I don't know what to expect.
It's
like,
scary.
I'm
Yeah, that
in a
makes
physical
sense.
altercation with this guy. I don't even know. I have to try to pin him down. Like, it's,
But no, it's
very
fun though.
unique.
It feels really good. Like when you're done with it, you're just like talking with like people like about the moves and stuff like that. And I feel like the main reason I also want to do is like if I'm gonna be like a high value man or something like a high value man, just like a man in general. I feel like I just need to be able to defend myself, not only myself but like people I love too. Like I don't want to have to
Yeah.
be second thoughts about it. So like that's probably one of the main reasons. But
Oh.
no, it's fucking sick.
Talking about high value men, what do you think of Hustle University, Nick?
I don't use it at all.
But you did pay for it.
I did. And
It closed. You see that?
is it?
Is
It
it?
closed?
His pyramid scheme ended?
He closed it because he just said like he had for some reason, but I think he's opening up like in a certain amount of time again. I don't know. I think he's using it just a way to get people to be like think it's scarce, so that more people will join.
Yeah, just 100% just to make money. Yeah. Because there
No, 'cause
would be
they-
better ways to do it.
No, because he announced that it was closing. I'm like, fuck, maybe I should join because I don't want to miss out if like something's happening, you know?
Yeah. Is it like closed to everybody, even the people that were in it?
No,
It just
closed
closed
to
people out.
new people joining.
Okay.
I think it might reopen though, because like I saw a post like said next 72 hours Hustle University will reopen.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
So did you actually learn anything from any courses in there?
I did learn a little bit about copywriting, but I'm
Was it-
not really interested in it.
Was
so.
it worth $50 a month?
No, I mean, it probably would be if I actually cared enough about it, but no, I don't care enough about like anything in there. But I like the concept of it. It's true. It's like, why would you pay $250,000 for a professor when you could pay $50 a month to somebody that's actually made the money doing it? But
yeah.
you'd have no way to know if they've actually made the money doing
That's
it or
what I
not.
was
So
that's what I was about to ask you. Like, how do you know that they actually have
yeah, you
credentials
don't.
for it?
So I don't know.
I was gonna say
Could
yeah,
be some guy Andrew Tate picked up off the street to talk about this.
Yeah, speaking on like that same note, what do you guys think about like traditional education, like college and shit like that?
Dumb.
What's your thoughts on it?
I think there's nothing
I've
wrong
haven't
with
thought
college
Too
except
much about it.
the price of it. It costs way too much for no reason. Especially when most educations you could probably get the same level of knowledge on YouTube.
No, yeah, it's completely useless.
yeah,
If
well,
you
like-
literally just pay for a piece of paper.
I feel like it's more
essentially.
useless now than it was before.
yeah, before it was vital.
'Cause
Like,
there's,
yeah, like-
there's a lot more access to information now.
Yeah, like Elon Musk said, it's like your education isn't special. Like you go to Harvard, you're not gonna get a better education than like say community college or even like all the information's out there. It basically just the certificate and the paper. That's what you're paying for.
Yeah,
That's what
someone
you're-
has a Harvard paper, you're gonna take
seems-
that over a Masabi.
and which
paper.
seems really weird because like no, yeah, and as soon as you like get in, like you basically like did all the work that needs to be done to get Harvard because like you don't learn anything special there.
No, it's all in the screening process. The highly reputable people that these people are hiring from Harvard, they're only hiring them because of the screening process that they had to go through to get into Harvard. That's all it is.
It seems weird then. Like, why do they want certain people into Harvard if it's like there's like they're not offering anything special? Like, why is that?
It's like a cult almost.
It's
Like
probably because in the past they probably did offer something special because they had probably had more information in the past than these community colleges and other colleges that are lower on the total point.
and
Even
they
now
have a
you-
lot more money and resources too. Like for example, there is a difference. Like for example, like I'm going to Scholastica, like I do research there or whatever. Like we there's a lot of like equipment and instruments that we don't have like to do research, like chemical research. And my professor would always be like, yeah, we don't have this machine or that machine. Guarantee you Harvard or Stanford probably have it, but we don't, so we can't do this. It's like, well,
There's a difference there.
They have
then, I
more
guess.
resources, and they probably do have like specialized professors
I'm
in
guessing
some aspect.
I'm guessing there's more like niche programs and stuff like that maybe too. Like in
Yeah,
but the problem
I'm
with
sure.
it is it's corrupt because it's like specialized to who, specialized to like what they want, tailored to what they want to
Yeah, exactly.
indoctrinate in these students. And that's, I mean, it's always gonna happen. Like I get that, but it's kind of frustrating.
no, so are you gonna go to college, Blayne?
I plan on it.
Yeah,
Yes,
I don't know what I'm doing either. So like,
because I feel like I need that certificate to actually get into anything that's like purposeful.
well, yeah, I think that for a person who's like not an entrepreneur and doesn't really know what they're doing, I feel like it's almost like there's like no other way, like security wise, like it's like the one thing that it's like you're gonna be secure, but like I don't know, I just don't know enough about it.
Well, it's like if I go to college and get my degree for physical therapy, it's like I can go get a job now. If I didn't have that, what am I gonna do?
Yeah, nothing's guaranteed when you know.
I can go get a job, but I can't go get a job in something I like.
Yeah, it gives you like almost a guarantee, but not always. So sometimes
always.
like sometimes people get degrees and it's like not even like worth anything. I
there's
guess
a lot of degrees that aren't like won't get you a job. I think.
yeah, it's like people like cause people are dumb. They just pick like the most specific like niche things that like only if you like in like one place in the earth like, you're gonna be able to use
Yeah.
it. Like it's weird. It'd be like I don't know like
But that's probably something they really enjoy, and it's really disappointing that
yeah they
this,
seem to be
this passion of theirs they can't pursue. Cause it's
yeah they
really
seem to be
niche.
smart about it, though. Like it's not like
You don't want to spend $100,000 on a paper that won't get you anything.
yeah you don't even spend like $100,000 on like a archaeology degree or something like that when you live in Minnesota. Like
Yeah.
I mean maybe it's just I don't know, but it's like I don't know. I feel like there's just like I said beforehand, like it's just the sense of security that is involved with college. I feel like the big thing.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going in for college again? I forget
Chemistry,
you're majoring in chemistry. Like what are you?
well, basically biochemistry and maybe chemistry. I don't know yet. We'll see. Yeah, but I want to go to like grad school for chemistry. So
Good man.
What's like a career job that you'd like to?
researcher, like research pharmaceuticals, like engineer chemicals, not like a chemical engineer. That's a little different. Basically, I'd like to help out companies develop new solutions in chemical terms, basically.
Do you think that could tie back into fitness and bodybuilding and everything then?
Oh yeah,
Your career at some
100%.
point.
That's what got me into it in the first place. Like I would have never, I don't think I'd ever get into chemistry if it wasn't for bodybuilding, which is weird as that sounds. Like a lot of people think like the two are completely unrelated, but like bodybuilding is just complete chemistry, biochemistry.
That's interesting. Do you think you like develop like new PEDs with chemistry? Like,
Oh, you definitely could. The pro hormones were developed. Basically, all the original pro hormones were developed by one guy. One guy was working in a research lab for some big company, completely unrelated to PEDs or pro hormones whatsoever. But he said he had the equipment and he had the passion and like wanted to see if he could make new compounds that could increase anabolism, pro hormones, and make them legal. And he developed like tons of them. His name's Patrick Arnold.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah,
But did he make a lot of money? I'm guessing.
I'm sure.
I had to have.
Is that what like you're going out for like research? Like, how do you get like income from research? Like, who hires you? Like, where does your
big companies that have lots of money to spend they're looking for something new. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
something to break through in some industry.
A lot of like industry chemists do a lot of like consulting work. Like they'll be trying to develop like a cream or something for like your skin, or like that's just one example, or like a new medicine, topical medicine or oral medicine, for whatever case, and they have no idea because they're just the CEO of the company. They don't know chemistry. They don't know how the body works necessarily. They just that's their company, and they're like, well, we need some really smart chemists and get them resources and reagents, and we'll go to work.
It's very interesting.
And it's cool because then you're like, if you have the credentials to do that, like if you went to grad school, for example, then like you're in complete control of the entire project. Like you could tweak anything you want in any way. People are listening to you, and you're just playing fun in your laboratory.
That sounds fun.
And getting paid for it.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good time, honestly. I mean, it sounds like I feel like there's a certain person that job would be, and I feel like you fit that description fairly well.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure like you've kind of realized that when you had your job because you were researching for your job.
Yeah, I loved it. By far the best job I ever had.
But you don't like working in the shop?
I like working at the shop. It's rewarding, and I feel valuable there. I feel like I have a certain level of importance there. But there's way more independence at the college. Like for example, like I'm doing research with my professor. Like he's not doing any of it. He oversees the project. He like explains things to me, teaches me concepts I don't know. But like ultimately, I'm doing all of the work. So like I'm the expert in I'm not the expert in that area because obviously it's his idea, his project and stuff. But like if there's ever a guy to do the research, like you need to hire a person to do the research again. Like I know like everything about it. You know what I mean? Like I did all the work.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
That's why I think I like it so much, because it's like complete independence in that sense.
And I feel like, yeah, just like knowing you and know myself, because I feel like we're like, I feel like you definitely enjoy like being in control and just being like, because I mean, we're not the most extroverted people. We don't like really working with people, I guess. Would that be an accurate statement?
Yeah,
and I can see that
part
because then you're in control of how much effort you should put in, and because I know you're not afraid of putting effort in, but like when it becomes in other people's hands, I feel like that's not enough for me personally. And I can see how like research, because it's just you, and you just decide how much to put in, and it's like, and that's I feel like the attractiveness to like bodybuilding is too. It's just literally just you, and it's like you decide how much effort you're gonna put in, you decide how much discipline you're gonna put in, and I mean that's what I found so rewarding in it. It's just yourself.
Yeah, 100%. That's very accurate. Yeah, there'd be some days where he'd just like I could stay after if I want. Like if I wanted to work more on whatever I'm currently working on, just basically leave the door unlocked, give me the keys, and stay there all night if I wanted to. He didn't care. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. On a kind of a sidestep, I want to talk more about you, Blayne. Because we didn't really talk too much about it, but what are some things you would say like the big things that changed after you lost the weight, and like just with yourself or just like in general?
So I'd say the biggest thing about biggest thing aside from myself is how people treat me. I feel like I'm treated with a lot more respect now than before.
Yeah.
Just because I made a whole Instagram post on this. It's how overweight people and obese people are not seen the same socially, like the social ladder, as say like a skinny person or a fit person.
No, I 100% agree with that.
It's like it's as small as like someone holding a door open for me or just having a conversation with me. And so then the biggest thing about me that changed, I think, is my confidence level.
Yeah.
Because I'm just a lot more outgoing now and more confident in doing things.
Do you think that that also could play into the fact of how people treat you? Not just because like how physically how
For
you
sure.
see, but like also like your
For sure. It's
the way you
like
carry yourself. People are like, oh,
yeah.
generally,
It's like my confidence. It all stems from my confidence,
yeah, 100%.
pretty much.
That makes a lot of sense. Like obviously, like right now, I'd say you'd say it's worth it, but like how drastically did it like improve your quality of life? Would you say like
Massively.
probably the most important thing you've done?
Yeah, for sure. Like it's my
Yeah.
it's what my life revolves around now.
Yeah, I feel like, and I've said this like time and time again. I think I said in our group chat, like I feel like if you're having problems in like life, or just like generally don't feel like good like about like yourself or like what's going on, or, like I don't know, like not even mental illness, but it's like yeah, like, yeah, you know your life's going to shit. It's to say like I think the first step to always getting someone's life together is fitness and health.
Yeah.
Like if you get that under control, you can like it's just like an upward
'Cause
spiral.
a
From
lot of mental problems stem from your body image, especially nowadays with social media and everything. So seeing all these big influencers with good physiques and being skinny and being fit, it's like, it's just, I want to be like that. And
yeah,
these people are getting treated so nice. Why am I not getting treated as nice?
Yeah.
And it's like when you're bigger, you don't even realize that you're not getting treated well until you're a fit person. And it's like, wow, I was treated like shit.
yeah, I get
Like this
that.
isn't right.
That makes sense. Yeah, no, it's definitely like one of the most important things. Like not even just like physique wise, like seeing yourself, that's a big deal. Like being confident with yourself, the way you look, but also just like general, like actual like biological health, like the way you eat and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
that shit affects your mental health. Like if you
The
eat
way
shit,
the way you eat affects everything.
yeah, like
What
not
you-
even the way
what
you
put
look.
in your body is everything in life.
Exactly. Like if you like feed yourself this like shitty foods, you're just gonna like actually like not feel good. Like I've noticed.
I think with all these processed foods and everything, and it's just that's why people are so down nowadays and so depressed and everything. It's due to food too. Not all of it, but it's a good part of it, I think.
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
the
No, I could agree with that 100%. There'd be days like I'd be like on the road or something, or just like super busy, and like I don't have like, literally like it's hard to find time to like it's not hard to find time to eat, obviously, because you can do that, but it's hard to find time to eat quality foods because
Yeah.
that could be tricky. And so I'd eat like you were saying, like processed carbohydrates. Like I'm not trying to be that guy, like just like be all like just all healthy and nothing else. Like I realize there's a balance between it, but like these days when I eat like just pure carbohydrates or something, I'd come home just feeling like crap, and I have no energy. Like my blood sugars would be unstable. You know what I mean?
it makes a
Oh, yeah,
big
yeah.
difference, and you don't realize until you like you actually like understand food and just like start dieting. Because like the days like you don't realize until like you stop dieting for one day or a week, and then you just like
And
dude,
you feel like crap after.
like you do
It's
not like not even a week. Like so
you just
eat-
don't feel normal.
Yeah, like I'll eat like I don't know how like you like understand like because it's like just my understanding is how food works now. Like not that I'm an expert, but like I just have somewhat of an understanding. I can't see like people just like eat like candy like throughout the day. Like I
But
see
their body's just used to that though. Is the thing they don't know. They don't know how it feels to eat good food consistently.
Yeah, like I just like eat candy. And I just feel like I'm gonna like
Well,
pass out. Like I just don't feel good at all. Like I need to eat candy like around a workout or some like arduous task. Like
Well, there was a day I was training with you two, Josh and Russ, where
Yeah.
I felt like complete shit because I was out at my cabin the day prior and I ate nothing but like chips and like different bars and just pure carbohydrates, and I just couldn't train after.
yeah,
'Cause
it,
I had no essential fats, no protein pretty much.
it fucks you up because like
Yeah.
especially carbohydrates. Cause like I feel like it's a known thing almost. I used to not believe it. I feel like calories in calories out. I mean, yeah, when it comes to like gaining and
When it comes to gaining weight and losing weight,
exactly,
that's the number one
but
thing.
it's like feeling like if you just eat a bunch of carbs and like especially fast digesting ones and like no fat and protein, like you just it goes right through you and you just like get like a burst of energy. You feel good, like you're hyper for a bit. Then afterwards, you literally just do not. You feel really bad, and I don't think people realize that. Like they feel that way, but they don't know why. Like
and it all starts with your diet.
it's a big
Like a lot of okay, I don't know if there's any truth behind this, but this is kind of what I believe is that there's a lot of people diagnosed with ADHD and autism and different things like that, which couldn't be fixed by diet, but it could be like lessened or like could be broken down to like, oh, you could fix your diet and be more controlled. People don't have to go on these meds because if your diet was right, you'd be better off.
I'm not sure. I don't know the science exactly, but
Yeah,
I've
me
I've
neither.
heard things like saying that like what's Jordan Peterson's daughter's name?
Michaela.
Michaela. She talked about like how the carnivore diet, like eating more meat, stuff like that. I don't know if it's directly correlated to the meat or just like the fact that she cleaned up her diet from eating processed stuff. but she went on this carnivore diet where she basically just ate meat and like water, and she had what's it called? I think it's arthritis or some
Rheumatoid arthritis.
yeah arthritis.
Healed or
And it
she
like
got that.
basically gone away after she went on diet, and I feel like that is like almost not proof, but like
It
shows that it can
a good correlation.
diet like
A diet is like it's just the number one thing that you need to get in check right away. If you're
Exactly.
feeling shitty, check your diet. What have you been eating recently?
yeah.
Have you been eating enough protein, enough carbs, enough micronutrients? Are you deficient in something?
And it's
It's
like
the first thing you should ask
like-
before going on meds or anything.
yeah, and even if you're not like an athlete, but like if you do anything like even mentally stuff, like you feel like it's so advantageous because that's like this is your vehicle to do literally everything in life. Why would you not want to not
Why would you
not
not fuel
look
it
good,
correctly?
but yeah, fuel it correctly? Because if you're not,
Like it's not even about looking good. Your diet's not about looking good unless you're a bodybuilder or like you just have issues with your self-image.
yeah,
It's just feeling good.
yeah, it's a big difference. I've noticed like just like the way you feel yourself, it affects everything, not even just physically. Like if I like, I noticed I've been talking to you about this. I know Jordan Peterson preaches just like eating higher fat and proteins for like in the morning and stuff like that, because if I just like eat like a bunch of carbs in the morning with like no slower digesting foods like protein or fat, like I said before, I can't like think even. Like I get brain fog and like I won't be able to think properly. Like I'll play a chess game and it's like, have you ever experienced that? Like you just like
Yeah.
can't think. And like I've noticed like diet plays into that stuff too. And I don't laymen don't understand that, I feel like.
Yeah.
No, but
Well, carbs also aren't essential to the body though, right?
isn't it the only macronutrient?
It's
not?
that's
Yeah.
not like essential. Like you eat 0 carbs and be fine.
Yeah.
As
We
long as
can
you're-
make them. We can make it pretty efficiently from proteins and a very small amount of fat. So like you're right.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything like wrong with carbs, but I feel like almost carbs should be earned through physical activity or used before physical activity. I don't like eating carbs throughout the day just by myself. Like if I'm just gonna lay in bed, I'm not gonna eat like some bread.
So you're saying like nutrient timing is like a big.
I mean,
is-
that's
I think you feel better. Like it's
Yeah.
like your body like actually uses the nutrients like how I like to say like how they're meant to be. Like I don't know.
It only makes sense because I mean, like in science class, I've learned like just biology wise, like fat and protein. Fat is it fast, slow? No,
Slow digesting.
what's slower, protein or fat?
Fat's the slowest. It takes the longest to
That's
break
what I thought.
down.
Fat and protein that take the longest to break down, and like carbs are pretty quick, right?
Yeah.
They're pretty quick, so it only makes sense to me. Like right before you do an arduous task or right afterwards to fuel yourself, because you need that quick energy. That's when you have carbs. Not when you don't need quick energy when you're laying on the bed. Like no, you just like have some slow digesting stuff like protein,
Yeah.
fat. That you just sit down, and it's like it just kind of grounds you. It doesn't make you feel all jittery.
makes you satiated too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like
that
carbs.
makes sense. Like, you guys ever eaten a big carb meal and you don't move or exercise, and you like I don't know if it's just because my metabolism's cranked, but I'll start sweating.
Mm.
Like my body just doesn't know what to do with it. I'll literally just start sweating and I'll get hot. Like I showed Danielle this, my girlfriend, several times. Like I'll eat like a kind of like a junk meal, and I'll show her my hands beet red, and I'm sweating.
Yeah, it's
If I do that with protein and carbs, like my body's using them differently. It's yeah, I don't know.
no, diet is very important, and I wish more people realized that. That's not just like a vanity thing to look better. Like no, if you start feeling yourself better, your quality of life just expands dramatically. And I'm sure, like you just said, you can attest to that.
Mm-hmm.
No, but other than would you say how people treat you? What else would you say like changed? Anything different, like major, that you think worth bringing up?
I can't really think. Well, there's a lot of stuff that changed. Like my whole life changed since then.
Yeah,
But
I could even tell because I mean, like we were friends for a long time. Like we went to school together, but like
we weren't like friends.
like we were acquaintances. Like we're like
Yeah.
they like went through stages. I feel like.
I feel like that also went through like what class you were in. Like if I was in your class, you'd be better friends. But I feel like now that I've lost weight, there's people I'd be friends with if there's people that I wouldn't be friends with if I didn't lose the weight.
Yeah, I feel like it also I agree with that. I think it also comes just like I was gonna say is like since we've been friends for so long, like we knew each other, and became somewhat close. You just like honestly you become a different person to a certain extent. Like
Yeah.
there's like even in the look, I've heard people say this, even like the look in your eyes, like not just like you specifically, but like as you become like you lose weight and you just like become like more of a serious person, like and more respected. It's like just
Yeah, 'cause
just,
you're more
just by your look,
respected.
just by your look, you can just like it's like
But
Posture too.
it posture too. Yeah, like just like the way you look and your posture. It's like people don't realize it, but like you're just not as weak now. Like you're I don't know. It's a good thing though. You can tell
you're more socially accepted.
Yeah, no, and it's a great thing. Like that's why also part of the why I took Jiu Jitsu and stuff like that, because I want to have just like that, like the confidence thing. Because I feel like that really just goes into everything.
Like, confidence is everything too.
That reminds me of like the whole incel situation. Like,
yeah,
incels, like, yeah, well, like they're basically people who just like don't even try like to get relationships because they feel like they're just like too low status. Like women have such a higher
Can you
dating
explain
pool.
what an incel is first?
That's what I'm doing.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, like they're just like basically giving up on love and relationships because they're like lower status, and they feel they're just like ignorant basically, and just like get down on themselves because these women have. I mean, it's clear, it's very well established. Women have way higher dating pools. I mean, than men. It's just, I mean, if you don't agree with that, then you're just wrong. But so like these incels, that's basically what their whole like judgment is on relationships. They're just like giving up. They're just like, it's not even worth it. It's too hard. I'm not going to try. And where was I going with this? Oh yeah, instead of having that mindset and then just like giving up on relationships in whole, like there's several things you could do to improve your mate value to increase your odds of success in a relationship. Because I mean like Dr. David Buss has talked about this, the evolutionary psychologist and mating expert. That sounds weird. He's an expert in relationships and mating. And
like the biology behind that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
and psychology.
Mating expert.
And it's very well established that like if you were to do like a rating system, like threes would date threes, fours would date fours, tens would date tens, etc. Like there's not really like a huge disparity between that. Like you're gonna directly link up with someone who has a relative equivalent mate value with you. And it's like that's kind of goes with this. Like if your physical attractiveness and part of the mate value is low, there's one thing you could do rather than having a bad mindset and becoming an incel. You could increase that physical appearance value, and
basically that's increasing your value as a male.
Exactly.
And that's like it sounds weird to like say like the value of a male goes to how well you can attract females, but that's at the end of the day, that's the whole reason you live life.
That's the whole psychology behind.
That's like yeah, but at the end of the day, like the reason you do everything is just so you increase your value as a male. Like why do you want to? It all goes back to that.
Mating, you mean?
Mating, yeah.
Yeah.
And to increase your value for a male, to attract females.
Base human nature, your purpose is to mate and reproduce.
Exactly, and everything goes back to that. So like, if you want to make more money, it's because money will like obviously you can provide. Like why do you want money? I mean, it's a resource. You can obviously need money to buy food and live. But like why do you want to live? So you can have better resources to buy and attract females and like more power. Like I mean, also all the stuff goes into it. But at the end of the day, all of it boils down to like you want to attract more females.
And part of that reason I think is that's why, like over time, over a long period of time, males have evolved to become more of like, I'm gonna get myself in trouble for saying this, but like they're like more.
What?
How do I say this?
Take your time.
Yeah, be careful here. Stepping on eggshells.
Like industrious. I mean, I guess if you would disagree with this, then you're just wrong because the statistics agree with this. I mean, men are just generally across the board more industrious, have higher paid jobs, have more arduous jobs, and I think part of that is because the women are more pickier in their mate selection. I mean, it's the only way. It's the only way through. If that wasn't the case, then there'd be no reproducing.
Yeah, no. What's Andrew Tate says this. I mean, he says some good stuff, but like women pick the winners. It's the women who does the choosing. Like, I mean, I guess it depends, but majority of the time, women get to pick because they're in a position where like
if you're attractive, you can get who you want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like Russ said earlier, women have way higher dating pool than men do.
Yep.
Men, you have and also another like I don't know if it's a statistic, but it's the thing that's said around like it's like 10 or 5% of the men get like all the women. It's like, which is very interesting. Like so if you're like the other 90% of the men, you like get like literally nothing. You get but if you're a woman, you could be from any caliber. There's always guys for you. There's always guys because
exactly.
If you're living, there's some guy that's attracted to you. Like, it's sad. This is kind of the way it is. But like, there's some guys that girls wouldn't touch. I mean, obviously There's 7 billion people on Earth. Okay, obviously some, but like no one like.
There's
it's very sad.
There's a lot of men where majority of women would never even look at them.
And it's so the majority of men, I feel like, are that. Majority of men are not wanted by a majority of women.
Oh, because the majority of women are looking at the
Top.
minority of men.
And that I think is I don't think there's nothing wrong with that, honestly, because that's a means to produce in a very
efficient manner
for the future.
Yeah, I mean, why'd you want to pick a loser? Because you're gonna. I mean, back in the nature, like hunter gatherer days, if you pick a loser, you're gonna die. Your whole family's dead.
You're like you and your family will die.
It's efficient. It makes sense. And I'm not like saying it's like it shouldn't happen, but it's just like it's kind of sad to realize like a lot of men just live out like desperate lives trying to attract females when they just like will never. Like it's very sad, honestly.
This goes back in time because like less developed countries like India, all the people with power have like 18 wives.
Exactly, because they get all the women.
They get all the women.
Because like why wouldn't they like? Because women have a choice.
In the history.
The women have to sacrifice maybe the love and attention from the guy for security, for survival and security, because it's not worth it. Because the fucking Joe Schmo, the loser, is not going to provide for your family. Sucks.
There's obviously outliers though too.
Yeah, there's generalization.
Yeah,
but
in general, there's gonna be more. Basically what you were saying.
Yeah, and not to say that's right, but like that's why, like that would happen.
Yeah,
I'm actually glad you brought that up. That makes a lot.
Yeah.
An interesting thing though is it's very conflicting of like the traditional gender role relationships. Like I think it's there for a reason, and I do believe in that. Obviously, but it's conflicting because like for example, I learned about this again from Dr. David Buss guy. He's a very interesting psychologist. Like men go out a lot of times and they're like, I'm not saying women don't work hard, but like they'll be stressed out and they're known for taking on too many tasks, sometimes too many tasks that they can handle. Like that's a common characteristic among men. And they come home and they might want to just go to bed. They don't want to have fun with their wives, and like they, you know what I mean? Like they just dream about working. There's a lot of men that fall very hard for the passion of their work. Like it's very common. Like if you love your work, like that's what you're going to think about all the time. And sometimes the relationship struggles with that. Well, one problem with that is that Dr. David Buss was talking about is that when women become in an unsatisfied relationship, it's very likely they will leave. Contrary, if men become in an unfulfilling relationship, they very well documented that they just stay static. They don't leave. Like they just don't care. It's very interesting, but yet they're the ones that are putting themselves in that position. So they're basically setting themselves up for failure almost. You know what I mean?
And I think the reason to do that,
it's very interesting.
Like I'm not David Buss. I don't understand evolutionary biology, whatever. But I think from my eyes, what I see is like the reason for that is because I think men overall in general don't prioritize their relationship as much as they do as their work. I mean, it's evident the fact because that's the problem with the relationship is that he doesn't do that.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not the highest priority. Where the woman is like that's their main priority is like their husband like take care of them, and if it's not working, that's the main thing in their life. Majority of the time, obviously generalization, like I stated before, they're gonna leave because that's the main thing that's important in life. Like guys, like I can deal with that later because I'm gonna be working 8 hours or 12 hours today. It doesn't really matter. I'm only home for like so.
Yeah, I think the conflict, like you're right. It arises in basically generally speaking across the board, most men and women in relationships want completely different things and value completely different things, and that's obviously a very conflicting mindset. But yeah, it's very interesting stuff.
Isn't it like I'm pretty sure like the statistic of how many like women, a percentage of women that initiate divorces or not? Because isn't it like pretty high? Majority
90% or something.
that further backs up the statement that in an unfulfilling relationship, the woman's highly likely to leave. And it's
where the men are just stagnant. Like
I'm working. I don't really care.
Yeah,
I just want someone to care for me if I have troubled times. Come home and be there. But like it makes sense though, because like if you want different things, a woman wants to be stimulated. Like I want to do fun things. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes total sense. I just think that's almost like an important aspect that like people should know about, because it's like this. I never learned this stuff like in school or anything. And I wish you know what I mean. It's really cool.
It's our very nature, and I feel like it's very weird that we haven't learned that.
Yeah.
I've learned so much just by generally just like listening to podcasts and just talking to you and discussing to you. Like just like in car rides, to say. I feel it's very necessary. That's just, like I said beforehand. The whole reason you're living is to really like survive and mate. At the end of the day, that's like what it comes down to, and everything else.
Yeah, that's all you want.
Yeah, but we're just like not taught on like how say like on this stuff like how to raise one's mate value. I feel like it comes instinctually. You kind of understand that, but like how to become like not like. I feel like it should be a weird class in school, but like this, like it should be taught like how things work between men and women, not just like I'm not saying sexually. I'm just like the dynamic between them.
Yeah. It should be
the differences, why it should like how it's gonna work out, what you should do to become more of a high value man. Contrary for the woman, same thing. Like what's gonna work the best between the two because they are different and there's a certain dynamic that needs to be made for the relationships to work. So like I feel like that's
I don't know about teaching you to be a high value man, but I think just
high value man class. No, I know, but like, you know what I'm saying.
Just teach that like the basics that like the basics of human nature.
Yeah, or like
you're made to mate and reproduce.
Yeah,
literally, like you could have a class evolutionary psychology. Boom, like there you go.
In high school,
yeah,
that's not paid for.
Yeah,
because they have a class, obviously.
Let's get a semester of that.
Widely available.
Yeah, no, like you're gonna have to be like a psych major in college to take that, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Like once again, that seems so foreign to me that we wouldn't learn that because that's like the very basis of living. Like, it's very weird. And I was thinking about it, like,
or they could teach in a health class too.
Yeah.
Have like a 1 unit on it at least.
Yeah. How important is our health classes right now?
It's very
taken. It's not very.
It's very watered down and not like up with the times.
What are you talking about in health, right? Like.
I haven't taken health.
In our health, it was like, it's in
basic diets.
It wasn't basic diet things like you should really.
It was like very basic diet. Like you should eat these food groups.
It wasn't even
some carbs.
It wasn't even
these
like
are
it taught like food groups and like exercise.
It was very outdated. It was like
I mean, I guess for the average person, it's probably fine.
But no one actually, I don't think anyone like actually attains information from health class and actually applies it to their life.
I feel like in America, at least with the obesity epidemic, that there should be a calorie counting section or like a diet section.
Oh yeah, I found that really cool in health class.
Because what we were talking about before, how diet is everything. You don't learn that in school. You learn that through trial and error.
Yeah.
How you eat, but
it
should be taught.
It's very sad because like I don't blame people for being overweight. I mean, I was overweight at some point in my life. Granted, not to the extent of you. So like, but I got a taste of that. I know you were bigger too. Like, it's like if you're like it does come down on genetics too, and it's like your family and stuff like that.
Yeah, but diet and weight isn't genetic really.
Well,
it is to a point, but it's like if you, it's not to the point where you can't lose weight.
Well, no, I understand that, but some people are like predisposed, like just like if someone's in the same household as someone else, and just genetically they'll have more hunger than someone else, and just the way they live and stuff like that, like those affect that, and then they'll become overweight.
Weight is more environment than genetics.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but I feel like also your genetics.
With your environment, it's like what your parents feed you is going to decide if you're overweight or not. That's how it was for me. Yeah,
but some people also just like generally just have a like way bigger appetite, and they just will eat more.
Yeah, that's
also built through habits.
I think that I agree with you. Environment's probably the most important thing, but also I think genetics like play a factor.
Well, because when I was growing up, I had a bunch of shitty foods in my household, which led me to be overweight. I'm not saying it was 100% my parents' fault, but it pretty much was.
Well, the thing is, like,
I also had complete exposure to junk food, and you
probably didn't as much as I did.
But that's the thing where genetics come in partially because I don't have a big appetite at all.
I think part of that is our dopaminergic system. Like some of us like get very rewarded for eating junk food. Yeah, that's where I feel like there's some merit to that statement, but like in terms of hormones, like leptin and ghrelin. Like leptin satiates you, ghrelin makes you hungry. Like if you're getting fat, you're putting on weight. You're not just gonna have a ton of ghrelin just be stimulated. Like, oh, let's eat more. Like, no, like there's gonna be a negative feedback loop and make you stop eating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I
think we're gonna have to call it quits.
Yeah, dinner's ready. We got practice in an hour. It sounds like it's pouring.
Yeah, it is pouring.
Oof. That's gonna be rough for practice, Blayne.
All right.
It was good having you.
That was very
Thanks
good.
for having me.
Yes.
Of course.
Good talk. The podcast is on Spotify now also.
Oh,
Yeah, and I'm trying to get on Apple Podcasts too. We'll figure that out.
good shit, man. All right.
Thank you, Blayne.